start and then I can.
Okay. Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Beatriz Cortina. I am professor from the University of Granada, and together with my colleague Dr. Silvia Corral on behalf of the Free Economy Consortium, we're going to start this multiplier event of the project. This session will be in English. We need to keep record of attendance, though we ask you to introduce yourself through the online chat and to fill in the online form that we will provide through the chat. As you know, we are going to record the session, so I'm going to read the required acknowledgement, okay? Due to temporary suspension of face-to-face activity at the University of Granada and conditions of participation in this video conference are the following ones. This session will be recorded in order to be disseminated later. It is recommended that attendees, if they do not wish to be viewed by other participants, disable the camera on their device. It is forbidden to capture and or record the session, as well as its production or dissemination in whole or in part, whatever the medium or device used, excluding what is done by this consortium, by this coordinator. Any improper action will result in a violation of the regulations in force, and the relevant legal responsibilities may be derived, okay? So having said this, we have the honor of inaugurating this first multiplier event by the Vice Chancellor for Internationalization of the University of Granada, Professor Dorothy Kelly. So Dr. Kelly, whenever you want.
Thank you very much, Beatriz, and thank you all for participating in this first session of the Multiplier event. As you probably know, it has been designed in a bilingual format, bilingual virtual format. So our first session is in English now, and later on we will have a session in Spanish also. So a very, very great pleasure to welcome those of you who have joined this first session in English. I have seen briefly in the chat colleagues from Italy, colleagues from Austria, as well, of course, as colleagues from the countries participating in the 3 Economy Plus project, that is Portugal, Malta, and Spain. We would, of course, have been delighted to see you face-to-face at a physical meeting, but obviously the circumstances prevent that from happening. And I think, though, what we have learned over the past few months is that we have a lot of tools at our disposal, and although we have used them in emergency mode to solve the emergency problems, we have learned also that these tools have great potential for allowing us to reach out to colleagues who would not normally be able to travel to a face-to-face meeting. So I think that is something positive that has come out of this very tragic event over the past few months. The 3 Economy Plus project is one of the very many European cooperation projects in which the University of Granada participates, but it is one of which we are particularly proud, and I would just like to underline why. Of course, the issues dealt with in the project are of great importance: employability of our graduates, preparing our graduates in the fields of economics, of tourism, and of marketing are areas which for the university are central and are important. And the project has used blended learning, which of course, when the project started, was not necessarily going to be center stage, but has become very, very center stage in higher education policy around the world. The project has also looked at other tools for employability, including internships, and in this situation, virtual internships. So again, elements which we think are very, very important for improving the quality and the diversity of our educational provision in these 3 areas. But the project, right from the very beginning, has had a very, very particular element which I would like to underline, and that is, it is a project which from the very beginning has intended to be inclusive of parts of Europe which are below the average in socioeconomic indicators. And we believe that that is a very, very important element of the Erasmus Plus project, inclusion, moving beyond the habitual suspects who are always involved in European projects. And in this particular case, we're very, very proud of the team from Porto Alegre in Malta. And if I can, you will allow me, as Vice Rector of the University of Granada, we are particularly proud of the team at the University of Granada, because this is the first time that our Melilla campus has coordinated a European project. For those of you who do not belong to the University of Granada, the University of Granada has campuses in 3 cities. The city of Granada, which you are probably all familiar with, but we also have campuses in the 2 Spanish enclaves on the north coast of Africa, in Ceuta and in Melilla, where the activity of the university is particularly important as a socioeconomic driver of the cities. It has been our campus in Melilla which has led this project. And as I said, it's a particular satisfaction for the University of Granada to have had our Melilla campus lead a European project of this kind. So I would like very much to congratulate the teams at the University of Malta, Porto Alegre in Portugal, and very particularly the team in Melilla, the University of Granada. I know you have all worked very hard, that it has not always been easy, and particularly over the past few months to finalize the project in these circumstances. Has not been easy at all, but I am very aware that the team has been able to use some of the adverse conditions in which it has had to work to actually improve and enhance the outputs of the project. And having said that, having thanked you, having congratulated you, I would like to invite all of our colleagues now to enjoy the rest of the presentation and to interact with our team to see the results of the project. So thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you very much for your kind words, Dr. Kelly. And I would like to use this opportunity to thank you for the constant support that the University of Granada has offered us and continues doing, actually, because the project is not finished yet. You, along with the rector and the vice rector for students and your corresponding staff in the different offices, have been there supporting us in all the events and activities that we have proposed during these 3 years and during the planification of this project. So thank you very much for that. Well, this multiplier event is entitled, "What does the 3 Economy Plus project offer? Intellectual products derived from the European project." Here, we want to share our experiences as well as the materials that we have worked during almost 3 years of this project. In this project, it was actually selected in the 2017 call for proposals within the KA2 action, Cooperation for Innovation and Exchanges of Good Practices, more specifically in action KA 203, Strategic Partnerships for Higher Education. Now that the project is about to finish, I want to remember that the beginnings were not easy. The idea came up in 2014, and after a lot of work, meeting, the project was selected in the 3rd call we apply, and hence the importance of number 3 from the very beginning. And now I'm going to explain on this later on. This presentation has been subdivided into these following 5 sections. First, well, what's the main idea of the project and how does the project come about? Let's show you a little bit more about our project. As we said before, number 3 is very significant for us. We have 3 universities: Granada with the campus of Melilla, the Faculty of Social and Legal Sciences; Porto Alegre in Portugal with the Polytechnic Institute; and Malta, the University of Malta, and the Institute of Tourism, Travel and Culture. 3 universities that are in 3 peripheral economic areas. And together with these 3 components, we have 3 topics that we want to deal with: economy, marketing, and tourism, and also 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And finally, number 3 is still present because this project has been working for 3 years from the academic year 2017-2018 until this academic year in 2020. So 3 countries were to do professional internship as well. So as you can see, number 3 is like a magical number for us, okay? Besides, these 3 aspects are important for this project. First, the development of professional skills, the training program to upgrade skills and competence from our participating students based on a collaborative work, and the resolution of integrated tasks was developed through the blended learning approach. For that purpose, we use a learning management system known as Moodle to solve tasks in different areas. Besides, every summer, an intensive program called IP was organized by each partner, where students presented the work developed during the year. Second, the promotion of multilingualism. The language of communication and instruction in the consortium was English. However, multilingualism was promoted through different actions, mainly an online course through the learning management system, through the 3 years on communicative skills in business, marketing, and tourism. Then we offer students 2 more modules on basic Spanish and basic Portuguese, so as to promote this plurilingualism. In addition, languages were practiced among the students and in the different IPs. In sum, this block of multilingualism aims at providing students with the necessary plurilingual skills to undergo work experience in their international professional careers. The third block is international internship, which are an essential element in our project. During the end of the 2nd year and during the 3rd year, all our students had the opportunity to work, to do a work experience with the companies or institutions supported by the consortium under the Erasmus Plus internship program. The project promotes high quality educational innovation through strategic alliances between 3 European universities in the field of social sciences. The 3 institutions were influenced by the geographical location, and as our vice rector previously said, this was a very distinguished feature of our project. Melilla, Porto Alegre, and Malta, which may result in limited career opportunities for their students. Therefore, the underpinning rationale of our project was to provide undergraduate students with key competencies for their professional future from an international perspective. The structure of our project and our program is as follows. The first year was focused or centered in Melilla. The focus was placed in economy. Both macro and micro perspectives were provided. Besides, the English for Economy module was initiated, and Spanish was introduced along the IP and through online materials provided. The second year was based in Porto Alegre in Portugal, and the driving force was marketing. English for marketing was introduced, as well as Portuguese module. The final year, the 3rd year, was focused on Malta, and generating instructive materials related to tourism was our main objective. Plurilingual skills were perfectionated as well. Then, as we previously mentioned, internship in international companies started after the 2nd IP to put into practice what has been learned during these years and are planned for this month in the online format. Along with this training, 3 intensive programs which were essential for the development of our project were also developed in each of the geographical settings of the consortium to advance on the work done and to pilot intellectual outputs. Besides, presentation of the annual work, professional conferences, and visiting business incubator were promoted through the IPs. So that was a very enriching experience, both for students and teachers accompanying the students. Well, in terms of objectives, what are the objectives of our projects? They can all be summarized in the following. The 3 Economy Plus project aims at designing an excellence-oriented program within 3 areas of economy: business, marketing, and tourism, so as to enhance from an international perspective the overall training received in the degree. And now let's go into the part that you may be willing to hear. What can we offer? What are the intellectual outputs we have done in this project? Basically, we have 7 intellectual outputs that we are going to present in what follows. Please note that as we have not finished the project yet, some of these products are not on our website yet, but they will be very soon available for everyone. So the first intellectual output is the Regional Analysis Handbook. We have created a handbook for regional macroeconomic and financial analysis, marketing, and tourism, exemplifying in these 3 European peripheral areas: Alentejo, in Porto Alegre, Malta, and Melilla, which are NUTS 2 and 3. Why? Because there is not enough information about them, and also to serve as a guide to carry out more regional studies, which are not very common. Then the handbook is in print, as you can see at this moment, and will be very soon available through our website. Let's focus a little bit on the 3 main blocks of this handbook. In relation to regional macroeconomic, the focus is on improving regional macroeconomic information so as to provide all the peripheral regions with models of analysis. In terms of microeconomics, we offer an analysis of a company to determine if there is an adequate correlation between investments and sources of financing, as well as to study the profitability generated. Again, models of analysis in peripheral areas are provided. And here you can see an example of a financial report and a tool used in this handbook. The second section is focused on new marketing methods, and the objectives is to show whether a company, institution, or region is strong enough with the intention of attracting investors, improving its image, or increasing sales. Again, different market analysis in these 3 peripheral regions are provided. And here you have an example of a tool used to see the positioning and the visibility of a brand against the competition. Finally, the last section spins around tourism as a necessary tool in the present and future world of services. It is a multi-sectoral and requires a lot of innovation and specialization, and we are, with this pandemic, we are really aware of this. And case studies are provided from the consortium as well. And here you have, for instance, examples of tourism innovation in each territory, such as in Malta, in Alentejo, or Melilla. Well, the second intellectual output focus on the participants' professional skills. As we said before, our students' employability was a main objective for us. So we developed a guideline and a template so that they could highlight the skills that they have, the skills and competencies that they have developed all through these 3 years. So based on their university degree skills, abilities, and general skills, we have developed a competency framework, and then the competencies have been selected to enhance an international professional profile. Here, in order to do so, we first carry out a breakdown of the different skills that should be promoted through the project based on the areas of economy, marketing, and tourism, as well as 3 transversal blocks we consider essential, which are multilingual skills, digital skills, and soft skills. The breakdown of competencies was validated first by project members and then externally through an expert judgment with employers, human resources manager, etc. offering their answers in an autonomous online questionnaire, sorry, in an anonymous online questionnaire, as you can see in this screen. This is part of the questionnaire to validate our framework. Then, with the final version of this project competence framework, we have elaborated a guide for students to be included in their CV or added to their Europass and LinkedIn professional profiles. On the screen, you can see part of this template, which will be very soon available on our website. The final documents are being tested by the consortium and students, and will be available on the project website, as I said before, in order to help other graduates of similar degrees to enhance their CVs from an international perspective. And here you can see how the output results in one of our students' CVs in a professional LinkedIn profile. Then, intellectual output number 3 is a digital repository of videos on regional macroeconomic and economic financial analysis, marketing, and tourism. The videos have been recorded by the teachers participating in the project, and they consist of short lectures, let's say short capsules, and the videos are in English and Spanish with English subtitles, and have been used by the students to understand some of the concepts through their blended learning. They are also available in the 3Economy YouTube channel if you want to access them. Finally, from my side, now my colleague will continue. Intellectual output number 4 is case studies. Case studies on each regions have been developed, covering the areas of a study to provide examples of application of the theoretical knowledge to the reality of these territories. These case studies have been used in blended learning as training materials. Besides, they have been incorporated in the handbook from EU1, so that they will be available very soon. And now my colleague, Dr. Corral, will continue.
Thank you, Bea. My name is Silvia Corral, and I'm from the University of Granada, and also a member of the 3Economy Plus project. And I'm going to continue with the presentation. So now, regarding the intellectual output 5, it has to be said that a web page has been created, as you can see in the image. And in this website, we are allocating all the materials and activities carried out during the 3 years of the project, promoting the open access and the exchange of online materials. As you can see, we got different social networks, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. So you can look for us and follow us. Right, so regarding the learning management system, there are 2 phases that need to be highlighted. First, there is a closed phase during the development of the project, where the 22 participating students are working here. The online teaching platform created on Moodle has been structured in the 2 main training blocks: economy, business, marketing, and tourism, as well as languages, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. In addition, other training activities related to the project have been included. For example, aspects of the internship in international companies, the CV, etc. These materials include a description of the main thematic areas, videos on the key issues, cooperation activities to be developed in groups, between partners, and individuals' activities. It can also be found follow-up guides, bibliography, links, self-evaluation, etc. Once the project will be finished, a second phase will start, and it corresponds to the open phase, which means that all the materials of the project will be allocated in the part called resources. Moreover, the aim of creating an open e-learning platform was also based on the intention of generating a MOOC using the online courses of the project. Then, the intellectual output consists of a glossary of the project. So as a part of the promotion of multilingualism, we have developed a glossary of key terms of the areas of economics, marketing, and tourism, offering the equivalence of the terms in the 3 languages of the consortium, English, Spanish, and Portuguese, as well as the phonetic transcription, additional information such as frequencies of use, example extracted from actual corpora, etc. So to complete this work, self-assessment and autonomous learning activities are offered to the students. This will allow them to master the lexical structure used in the project in these 3 areas. So in order to carry out this intellectual output, we have first started analyzing the text in English generated in the intellectual output 1 and 2, prepared by the consortium itself. From this text, we have created a corpus with a total of 85,511 words. Then, a list of terms regarding the order of their frequency has been extracted from a computer lexicography program. From this list, we have selected those terms that were actually related to the 3 fields of the project, lemmatizing the entries and obtaining a total of 202 entries. With these terms, we have created the glossary in a paper format for its publication, and we are currently working on its virtualization to make it more interactive. As you can imagine, it was not an easy task, and we have to define, first the criteria of specialization of terms and then the thematic areas, then find equivalents in the other 2 languages, Spanish and Portuguese, and not translations, and finally find real examples in Spanish and Portuguese, as we did not have the corpus in these languages. So for the presentation of the corpus, we have chosen 3 alphabetical indices in each of the languages that direct the reader to the term and its equivalents in the 3 languages. So as our objective is not to make the students acquire competence in just 1 language, but in the 3 languages of the project, promoting multilingualism. In this image, you can see one of the dictionary entries in paper format that is currently in press. As you can see, we have included information about the most common placement of the term in the different languages, as well as the phonetic transcription. Now we are working on adding the audio track with the pronunciation of the term in an online version, as well as interactive activities. So the last intellectual output to be presented is the intellectual output 7. That is a compilation of good practices in a book entitled Good Practices in 3 Economy Plus Project, Learning from Experience. The book has 14 chapters structured in 3 sections. Section 1, Good Practices in European Project Management K203. Section 2, Good Practices in Profile and Training of 3 Economy Students, and Section 3, Good Practices in Blended Learning. This publication will serve as a useful tool and compilation of best practices in the field of business, marketing, and tourism, which will increase the cooperation between the 3 regions involved. Once we have presented the 7th intellectual output, we would like to show you some of the images, some photos of the students carrying out the internships. They are in different companies of Melilla and Porto Alegre. These internships were developed in 2019, yeah, and this summer, we're going to be developed also in Malta, but were cancelled due to the health crisis. However, we are now organizing virtual internships for the students. These have enriched the professional skills and competencies of the students. Coming to the end of the presentation, we cannot finish without having drawn some conclusions from this experience. But what are the conclusions that can be drawn from the project? So we have promoted the international profile of the students and the institutions by developing a strategic alliance to enhance the development of students' professional and personal skills. We have offered innovative complementary training through a learning management system, face-to-face and online format, and through international internship and intensive program. These three elements have made possible the improvement of the academic training, the professional skills, and the job placement of the participating university students at a national and global scope. We have promoted multilingualism and interculturalism among participants. The students have been able to get to know two languages of the consortium through the design of activities in the learning management system, in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, through language tutorials to help them in the resolution of the integrated task, and also through intensive courses in the different intensive programs. We have supported the modernization and quality of existing economic development programs in the different areas of expertise of the partner countries. The project has encouraged regional cooperation within the geographical areas of the consortium, characterized by their isolation and less privileged economic development, promoting integration and international cooperation between universities and stakeholders. The 3 Economy Plus project has been supported by the experience of the 3 universities, companies, and also government bodies in each of the regions. In sum, we could say that the results of the 3 Economy Plus project are the 7 intellectual output that we have already presented, and they will be available for anyone interested soon. Finally, we would like to thank the associated and collaborating entities from Melilla, Portalegre, and Malta that in one way or another have believed in this project. Here we have the entities from Melilla. In this slide, you can see the entities from Portugal, and also here the entities from Malta. And well, finally, we would not like to end this presentation without thanking all the students, the members, and the participants of this project, because it would not have been possible without all of them. So in this image, you can see the students of the project looking at the horizon, representing their present and future to come. So that's the end of the presentation.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, and thank you very much you all for hearing and attending our presentation. We will be pleased if you want to make any comments or questions that you may have.
No questions?
If you want to ask something or comment whatever, you can switch on your microphone or through the chat. You can also do it. Everything was very clear. Thank you for the congrats. Thanks. I don't know if
no questions.
Any member of the project that want to add something, or I don't know, from our international office or whatever? No?
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Oh, yeah, good morning,
If I may,
yeah, of course.
I would like to present our compliments to University of Granada and to University of Malta. And for us, it was a great privilege to be in this project. This is a relationship that comes a long time ago. We have mutual cooperation since the beginning and many years before the project. And so this was an opportunity that we appreciate very much. It was a very rich opportunity academically and personally speaking. And for that, we are very, very proud to be in this project. So thank you all for that.
Thank you, Elena. It has been a real pleasure to meet you all and all the team and work together. Thank you. I would like also to use this opportunity to thank all the people who started in this project, but unfortunately for different bureaucratic reasons at the very end, they couldn't end up in current collaboration, and such as Gloria Picton, who was at the very beginning. Thanks for being here today. So, I don't know. Shall we finish the video conference? Yes, please. We ask you to fill in the online form so as to record attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here. And if you are interested in hearing this presentation in Spanish, then we have another session later on. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.